What we are witnessing today in Afghanistan is a tragedy of enormous proportions. Let the fact that the Taliban are today controlling most of Afghanistan, including Kabul, and have done so with relatively little violence not blindside you to the enormity of the tragedy that awaits us. First, the Taliban represent the most antediluvian dark force of evil. There is nothing to suggest that the Taliban have changed color or changed their stripes. They still have the same degree of deep contempt for women, contempt for human rights, contempt for basic liberties, and they have very little knowledge of how to govern a country. In fact, the Taliban 2.0, according to most estimates, is even worse than Taliban 1.0. They'll tolerate no dissent. They will tolerate no attempt at trying to reform what they believe is the most puritanical, fanatical variety of their religion, which is really an antithesis of all that Islam represents. You can be sure that once they occupy the seat of power, you'll begin to see retributions against all those who were part of the earlier regime. The Taliban will be uncontrollable, including by the ISI who created them and who still exercise a degree of control on them. The women of Afghanistan, the children of Afghanistan, the young people who India invested in are at direct danger from this regime. But more broadly, what this will happen is that the contagion of Talibanisation, which is the contagion of the most extremist form of fanaticism, could set fire across the subcontinent and beyond. No part of the world will be safe from the contagion of Talibanisation. As 9/11 reminded you that if you have a small jihadi force with an extremist ideology, they can have an impact disproportionate to their numbers. In this case, you'll have a jihadi force controlling a state which believes that they have been able to defeat two superpowers, first the Soviet Union and now the United States of America. Just imagine the consequences that this will have for subnational groups, for other extremist groups across not just the subcontinent, but across Asia and Africa and Latin America and the Middle East. What can be done?
The first priority of the government of India must be to evacuate safely the large number of Indians of all faiths and denominations, as well as the number of allies, the assets, the people who have worked on all the development projects. It's not an impossible task, it's difficult, but if you have an all-of-government approach and you use all the air corridors available, it is possible to evacuate them. It's important to remember that history judges countries by the way they treat their allies when they're out in the cold, when they're no longer as robust as they were. If India does this, it will also send a signal to South Asia and beyond that no matter who its allies are going to be, they're going to be safe as long as India is there.